It said it was live and there. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Shred Show Live. I can't tell you, you know what? Sean and I were just catching up. It has been far too long, but every once in a while you meet somebody in your life who has an incredible impact and is an influence for good. And Sean is one of those people. He continues to lead by example from the front, and they're dominating, not only in their local market, but across the country. They're doing such big things. And I tell you what, even him and I just chatting about what's to come and how we can continue to thrive, continue to influence and impact the people around us. You're not going to want to miss this conversation. It is going to be absolutely brilliant. And I tell you, with what Sean is going to share with you is going to help you in your business, in your mind, and right here in your heart, so you can continue to do exactly what you want to achieve. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready? It is time to shred. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Shred Show. Like I said, I cannot be more excited to be hanging out with my man, Sean. It's been far too long. You may know him as the Mortgage Geek. He's also the president of Cornerstone First Mortgage. The dude is just a baller. The dude is making things happen in his personal life, in his business life. Sean, what's up, brother?
What's up, man? I love that intro, by the way. Your energy is infectious. I love it. So it got me hyped. Well, I mean, more than the coffee did.
Well, there you go. You got your double shot now, so now we're ready to just hit the ground running. But dude, so let's catch up a little bit. We were chatting about it. You're one of those people that no matter what the market is doing, good, bad, ugly, you're continuing to look forward, you're continuing to thrive. And now more than ever is no different. When a lot of companies are downsizing, a lot of companies are worried about the future, you guys are growing. How the heck could you possibly be doing that? Like, you even said that you're doing numbers like COVID style numbers. And I'm like, what? Like, how can you guys possibly be doing that?
Dude, well, we're super excited about it. And yes, we are actually doing more than we were doing in COVID, which a lot of companies cannot say that. And really just kind of comes down to the grit and the grind. I'm not the smartest guy on the planet, and I'm not, but I say that my daily commitments and my grind, I will outbeat everybody. And that's all that what I hold on to, actually. So it's
when it really boils down to it, Sean, I mean, that is kind of the determining factor, right? Like out of like you look at the most successful people in the world, and it comes down to, are we willing to out hustle? Are we willing to outwork? Now, granted, you and I, we both we love to have fun. We love to enjoy life. We both have beautiful families, and we love to take time with that. But it comes down to our work ethic, right?
It's all about work ethic. That's it. Everyone else is looking for like the shiny token. I'm not looking for like the shiny token. I'm looking at what can I do that's the most effective, and I can do it and repeat it every single moment of the day. That's what I look for. So while all the competitors, everyone's like, oh, I'm going to downsize. I'm going to get a cheaper technology. I'm going to go overseas. I'm going to do all that. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, we do the same thing. We pushed over, some of the TaskRabbit items over to India and over to the Philippines just for data collection and data input to help, right, with payroll, because payroll is the largest part of our industry, right? And but then that's super easy. That's not my everyday focus. My everyday focus is really what my daily commitments are, and that's my 7 to 9 hours of Zoom every single day, right? So think of how many people that I get to meet, that I made a commitment 22 months ago. I said, 22 months ago, I'm not going to let this industry change and make who I am. What I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to 7 to 9 hours of Zoom call every single day from here on moving forward. And it doesn't matter. I told my team, I don't care who I have to talk to, but the more people that you talk to, the further you get, right? The more doors that open. It's not luck, because everyone's like, oh, you got lucky. Fuck no, I did not get lucky. I was just at the batting plate constantly taking swing after swing after swing. And so I would say that's the grit, that's the grind in me. So some days are 12 hours of Zoom. It's just what it is. But think of how many people that I meet.
I was going to say, all the people you're able to meet, all the people you're able to influence and have an impact with. I want to take a quick detour because I got so excited about getting into this conversation with you and how focused you are. Something I always like to do. And for those who haven't heard Sean's story, because again, your brand or part of your brand is the Mortgage Geek. So I want
Yeah.
to give everybody a little intro for those who really don't know you and kind of how you got your start. How did you get your start in the industry, and how did you get to where you are in a thriving company, in a thriving position? How did you get started, and how did you get here?
Um, I mean, I'll make it quick too. So I moved to California outside college, and I was selling for fake perfume out of a backpack, and so I put out my resume, and this guy was like, "Hey, do you know mortgages?" I was like, "I don't know anything about anything, you know. I know the art of communicating." And so he was like, "Hey, you should come." Anyway, long story short, I was a loan officer. I'm still a loan officer. So I'm actually, some people go, I'm going to change my title. I'm going to do all this. There's a true fact. I even went to Fannie Mae and was like, "Hey, I want my title to be loan officer." And they're like, "Well, you can't because you sign contracts and do all that kind of stuff." But I did ask the question because I'm actually really proud of it. So um, I just saved and did the right thing and saved and did the right thing. And I never tried to grow too fast. Everyone's like, "Oh, I'm going to set my goal for 10 million this year and 30 million next year and $70 million, 70 million the year after that." I never did that. I always stayed there and always had the mind frame of, if you grow at 7 to 15% every single year and compound that, you will always win. And that's what I do. And so if you constantly just slow growth it and always make sure that your foundation can support whatever your goals are, then you'll actually be able to long it, right? So I just kept on doing that. In 2014, I made a decision to purchase a small company that was only one location, two states, um, and because I wanted to change it. I'm got the loan officers and branch managers and even the ops people. They're constantly being lied to. There's no full transparency. Everyone's, "Oh, look over here," while I kind of fuck you on the backside. That's what the IMB world is made of. And I was like, the IMB world in the United States, I believe, is the best solution to a mortgage if it's in the hands of a non-greedy person that cares about
Hmm.
someone else's success more than their own.
Dude, that's a pretty bold statement, but I agree. Like, I actually do agree with you. If the right people are leading the charge, if it is very like black and white, very open, saying, "Hey, here's the real truth of it all," and that's exactly how you built it, and that's why, honestly, I would say you guys have had so much success, and why you continue to grow is because you are one of those leaders. You are willing to say, "Hey, I'm an open book. Let me show you everything. There's no hidden secrets here."
Yeah, there's nothing. It's just like, and that's why, like, the independent mortgage bank, but then we also have 37 broker channels, and people go, "Well, oh, do you have to have first right of refusal?" I go, "No, we don't have to do that. The loan officer gets to decide on which direction that they go to." Now, at the choice of the loan officer and the branch manager, we only broker 2%, and we did $196 million at 488 units last month, which is, those are great numbers. And at 97 or 92.7% purchase. And
Wow.
and so I was like, "Hey, the way that I have it designed is that I always hold my own feet to the fire," right? People go, "Oh, this is the pricing." I go, "Yeah, every branch manager has the same price. But you can always broker and verify that I'm never going to screw you on this side." So the solution of the IMB is actually, it's more control, it's a better solution, and we all start from the same exact, security price, like UWM, Quicken, PRMG, Gold, CC. Everyone, we all start with the same price. Let's get real here. The difference is who the leaders are and how much margin do they really have built in. It is essentially what the rate sheet is today, and that's what salespeople look for. So even if we're
Dude.
off by like 20 or 30 basis points of like the number one, who no one ever wants to be number one. You never want to be number one cheapest. You never want to be the number one highest. You want to be in the top 25% so you can crush, right? So that's what
Dude,
I that's
this is such a different mentality than so many people have. I mean, again, you don't want to be number one. We're not going to bash anybody in particular. We're not going to call out companies, but you mentioned some of the big ones, and that's just it. Is how much margin are you willing to build? Like, how much do you have to be able to do to continue to run a company and this thing and that? But how you have built it out and how you've designed it is clearly incredibly successful. Your team is continuing to provide for their families. You're continuing to grow in uncertain times. So clearly you have found a model. You have kind of found the secret recipe, if you will, of being incredibly successful.
You know what else is really easy about growth in this market right now is I say the same thing every single day because the truth is very easy to remember,
Wow.
right? So when all I do is just say the truth every single day, people go, "No way." I'm like, "Yeah, it's really fucking easy. Here's what it is." And oh, and by the way, another thing that I always say to anyone that's looking to join. So I meet every single person that comes onto our company because I
Really?
believe, yeah, because culture is actually the number one. If
Mm,
everybody is looking out for another person, then any company and any individual will always be able to succeed. They're not able to succeed if the culture is not correct. If it's a me type of culture, or I'm on an island, I do things my way and everything like that, well, then that is not the type of culture that we want, which is totally fine. I talked to another branch, they're very successful. They're doing like $75 million this year, which is great in this environment. And he was like, I'm not interested to come on to your every Thursday call for 1 hour. I don't want to share. I'm all that. And I'm like, hey man, I totally get it, and it's not for everybody, but if that's the type of, you know, person that you are and what you wanna run in your branch, that's not gonna fit us. Even though I have mad respect for you, we're not a good fit. And he was like, "Wait, what?" I'm like, "Just it's okay. Stay at your current place, and that's totally fine. I really appreciate you telling me that that's not the type of community that you wanna thrive in. That's it." So it's
dude,
not about you know, greed at that point because most owners will go, well, you don't have to. It's okay. And I'm like, no, it's not okay. That's just what we do here.
dude,
So,
that is exactly what I was gonna say. So many, especially in a competitive market like that, we're always willing to make exceptions for top producers or exceptions for certain people. But you're one of those guys. You're one of those leaders. It's like, this is our culture. If you're, and hey, I support you. I love you. I want to see. If you don't want to be part of it, that's cool. But what I'm building, what me and my community, what me and my people are doing, this is it. So it's either
yeah,
all or nothing. You got to buy in. You got to be part of this. Which Sean, honestly, that's okay. I think sometimes in this industry we get so fixated on, well, it's like, well, where's the next move that's just going to help me thrive? And leaders are like,
yeah,
well, we're going to do whatever. We're going to bend over backwards for Sean. Sure, you don't have to come to the meeting. Sure, you can do this, but it's like, no, it's all like you made a statement that was so perfectly true. If you keep it honest and keep it simple, it makes things so much easier. Like you don't have to make exceptions for this person. I gotta say this to this, dude. Just keep it simple. Keep it easy. We work in a very complex industry as it is. If you keep it simple, you're gonna win.
1,000%. And another thing that we do, like we do have a lot of bells and whistles. So I've been doing non-QM, delegated non-QM since 2015. I was actually at the MBA, and I was talking to my rep over at Veris, and they're like, "Oh my god, Sean, like I don't think I have an older contract of yours. Yours is actually signed in 2014, executed in 2015. Sorry, it was signed in 2014, executed in delegation in 2015." And I was doing a 5% down bank statement back in 2015. So we're agency direct. We run co-issue on Jenny. We also have all of the non-conforming jumbo products. But one thing is that non-QM is not new to us. I've literally been delegating it, underwriting it. So we now have our own reliance letter. We have our own TPR contract, and we're so far advanced on that side of things that it's a full product suite. Now people go, "Wow, that's a real bell and whistle." I go, I don't really look at a bell and whistle. That's like 30% of the market. And how are you not good at it already? You know what I mean? It's like that's a solution that you have to offer. And people go, "Oh, it's risky." Yeah, it's risky if you're brand new to anything in the world. I've been doing it for 9.5 years. So I don't consider it risky. So instead of eh, looking at it and saying why you don't do something, I dive in and say, why am I not doing this? And over time, it becomes less risky because of knowledge. That's it.
And that's it. If you're willing to put in the time, if you're willing to put in what it takes to learn and to become educated on those things. It's so funny, Sean, because we talk as mortgage professionals, as loan officers, we do our best to educate the consumer. We do our best to go out. But to your exact point, sometimes what others may look at as risky, as a, a chance, it's not in our eyes, and especially in your eyes, as you put in the time to research it, as you put in the time to test it and to try it, it's become something that's just like, it's a no-brainer. It's like, why would you not be doing this? So it's so interesting as leaders like yourself who are still putting in the time, putting in the research, putting in the hours behind the scenes to provide those solutions for our teams. That's what makes it all ultimately a winning combination, is having those solutions for our teams. So we're not missing out on, why leaving any pennies or dollars on the table when we don't have to?
Yeah, correct. I think people are too afraid of working every single day at something. They just want something really flashy, right? So that's why it's, I'm going to buy leads in 2 weeks. If the leads don't convert, then they're bad leads. When it's like, well, if you actually put in the time and effort and did that for 6 months, those leads, they're not good because you're new at it, And so, like I said, I'm not like a genius, right? I graduated college and I don't have like the greatest GPA, but what I did was I studied the art of people and grind, right? So when I do my calls, I literally, no joke, like last week I had 45 hours of Zoom, just a Zoom call.
You personally?
Me personally. I can send you my schedule. Then on top of that, I also closed $10 million last month in volume.
Wow.
And then I still have to answer all the questions that come my way of running the actual business, because by the end of this year, we're going to be at 100 branches. And right now we're over 400 LOs. So we got, people are like, oh, how do you do that? You have a massive team. I'm like, you would actually be surprised. No,
Dude,
I don't. But if you put everything into like your swim lane, and I always say I relate it to swimming. So I swim a lot.
yeah.
Have you ever tried to do zigzags in a pool?
No.
Man, it's fucking impossible. Can't swim back and forth. You only can go straight, but you can go really fast straight if you just get into a really, really good momentum. And it's not even the people next to me, they use their arms really, really fast, right? Like thinking that they're going to go faster, when actually my faster speed is when I actually glide more and take larger and longer strides. So I relate that to work a lot, going, hey, if I get better and I slow down and I'm taking longer glides and my breathing is better, then guess what? I actually end up being faster, right? And so I bring that to work a lot, because I think that the energy and the resistance of water is very similar to any workplace.
And it really is. What an amazing, I've never heard anybody use that. And coming off the Olympics, where I watched so many different swimming events, it's true. You watch them as they're in the water, and sure, they have power, they have strength. I mean, they're incredible athletes, but you think of the best, some of those who are crushing the golds, like you look at their style and their technique, and that's what stands out from among the rest. Like, that's what they have. They've been willing to perfect that art and perfect that craft. And that's what we have to do with business as well. Like, you don't have to be the one swinging your arms frantically and just crazy. Like, hey, like if you learn the technique, if you learn to do it well, you could actually outperform even the guy who thinks he's running faster or moving his arms faster than you.
Correct. Yeah. Everyone that's watching this show, I've read this book now twice, and I will continue to read it just to kind of re-energize my brain. Go look at and go read Hug Your Customer. Okay.
Hug Your Customer.
By Mitchell. Yeah. Hug Your Customer. It's all about like one of the most successful clothing stores, right? They don't do any of like the newest styles. What they did was they perfected the art of communication with their clients, right? They know exactly like what colors they look best in, and like the older styles that have legacy to them. Like, hey, I'm going to put you into a suit that will last you 20 years. I'm not going to put you into something fashionable that tomorrow it goes out of style. So it's the same thing. It's all about the art of actually understanding your customer and really honing in on that one customer. And that has made them one of the most successful clothing shops in the world. And they don't do really any of like the new high fashion stuff. So I like to take other industries and bring them into ours, because I always think that mortgages or real estate, we're always lagging. We're kind of like the dinosaurs, even though what are we, the number one largest industry in the United States, right?
Yep.
But we're like dinosaurs in terms of like, technology, innovation. We're still essentially, I say to somebody, I'm still selling the same fucking mortgage was 20 years ago. It's like, I need pay stubs, W-2s, and bank statements, and call it what you want. Call it stated or DSCR or FHA. I don't really care. Call it whatever that you want. It's still the same mortgage.
Dude, how brilliant. Like, you are 100% right. And again, number one, this industry is archaic. We're so far behind other industries, but the mortgage has not changed. So people love to think it's changed, but it hasn't. It's still the same thing. It will continue to be the same thing, Sean. People are like, AI, it's going to change the world. It's going to change the way we do. Like, it's still going to be the same thing. Like, it's literally, when it comes down to the foundational base of what a mortgage is and how you obtain it, it's going to be the same thing. So why reinvent the wheel? Like, focus on the pieces of that are important, that are going to make a difference. And that's where you're going to win time after time after time. Sean, this is, I mean, just that. Ladies and gentlemen, go back and listen to what Sean just said. And like, if you really take that to heart, it's going to change just that piece. There's been a ton of nuggets that Sean shared with us, but that piece in particular is going to get you in a mindset and a frame where you can go out and do incredible things in your business. Go listen to that. Sean, I want to be respectful of your time. I know you're incredibly busy. You're running an incredibly successful company. You guys continue to grow. I mean, in challenging times, but you're a guy like, challenging time. We got this. As we wrap this up, for everybody listening out there, for everybody who's like, hey, I am struggling. I am maybe, I don't know where to go next. I don't know what my next move is. What would you end with? What would you share with them? What is Sean's expertise or Sean's advice for somebody who is struggling right
now? Set a goal and never look at your goal again. And the most important part of it is set it once, but create your daily commitments to achieve that goal. Sit down and say, I want to do $10 million by the end of the year. Okay, cool. Never think about that again. And what is it going to take to get to the $10 million that you can do every single day? And that's the only thing I want you to focus on. Just your daily commitments, not the goal anymore, just your daily commitments. Also, the other thing that I do is you're going to wake up and the sun's going to come up or it's going to be light and you're going to go to work. So you have a choice. You have a choice to put a smile on your face, which then re-energizes your body and you're able to get over any obstacle to smile on your face, or you can be frustrated. But guess what? The day is not going to change no matter if you're smiling or if you're frustrated. And your brain cannot figure out a math problem. Actually, it's proven, cannot figure out a math problem if you're frustrated, but you can if you're smiling and happy. It's the way that your body, I'm not, going against the way that my body's designed. So I have a choice. I wake up and I say, every day is going to be a great day. It's going to be challenging sometimes, but that's okay. And my daily commitments are I have to do 7 to 9 hours of Zoom every day. I have a smile on my face. And if I start my day with that, I will always be able to go the distance and I will win. Now, I might not win tomorrow, but guess what? When I look back 20 months later, we're winning. And it's because I just didn't focus on the goal. I focused on just those 2 small little things and just do that every single day.
What a mic drop. I mean, absolutely brilliant. Sean, this is one of those things and one of those conversations that I know is going to have a lasting impact on me. It's going to have a huge impact on everybody listening. Thank you. Like, I literally, like, that was you were one of those people that is literally so profound, yet so simple that it's like, there's no secret sauce. There's nothing crazy that you're sharing. It's just, it all comes down to these little things. And are you executing them? Dude, I love the goal thing as well. Are you breaking it down on a daily goal? Are you achieving those goals? Are you actually making those things happen on a daily basis? So what a brilliant conversation. What an incredible opportunity to sit down with you and just share some insights with our industry. Brother, thank you so much. I cannot thank you enough for the leader that you are, for all that you shared today. You're absolutely brilliant.
Thanks, man. I appreciate being on the show. It was great to catch up with you as well, and look forward to our next call as well.
Dude, as always, ladies and gentlemen, go back, listen to this call, share it with your communities. I promise you, something you heard on this call, I know I did from some things that Sean shared with us today, is going to change your life. It's going to impact you. Even now, as I'm going back and thinking about some of the things he shared with us, you can achieve. It's nothing crazy. Just go out there and do it and make it happen. Plus, I love how he ended it. Put a smile on your face. Y'all are amazing. We appreciate you. We love you. And now it's time for all of you to go shred, go show up, hustle, repeat every day. See ya.